Hey everyone, it's Becky Danzenbaker, and I am editing this photo of little baby Caroline. But I just got an email from a girl named Annalise who is a teenager who is interested in newborn photography, and she asked me how I edit newborn skin because she said she's having trouble getting clean, even tones on newborn skin, and that is a common problem because newborn skin is awful. They have really blotchy skin. They'll have pink areas. They'll have little baby pimples. They'll have dry skin. They'll have gray areas. So it is really difficult to work with newborn skin, and I do have to spend quite a bit of time retouching newborn skin. So I thought instead of emailing back a big long response, I would just show her how I work with it. So this is the photo I'm currently working on. I've already made some adjustments in Lightroom, and you can do all of the fixes in Lightroom and or Photoshop. There's a gazillion different ways to work with photos. So I'm just going to show you the way I do it currently, and then I'll show you some alternative ways you can do it without the software fixes that I employ. So I've already brought the image into Photoshop, and you'll see I already made changes to the blanket to clean up the blanket just to make it look smoother and nicer. She had a pillow under her head, which created that crease on that bottom corner there. So I've removed all that to make this look nice and smooth, but I haven't touched her skin yet. So the easiest way to do it is with the new portraiture plugin that I'm using. Of course, that is probably $100 or so piece of software where you can select the skin tones and it masks just those skin tones to apply the smoothing. So it's a really quick way of smoothing away a lot of the blotchiness, so I can take it off and show you what it does. Um, so it creates some smoothness without being overly crazy. If you don't want to use portraiture, what you can do is use a clone tool. This is what I used to do before portraiture, and put it on a flow of about 10%-ish, it doesn't matter, and then just clone from nearby areas and go over it, and you'll see that smooths away all of the imperfections as well. And when I'm recording, my laptop slows down, so there might be a delay in all of this. But you'll see it's kind of achieving the same effect. The problem with this is that you can lose a lot of the texture, and you can have the skin looking fake. So this is adding the portraiture plugin back in, removing, or it's overlaying what I was just doing with the clone tool, so that's gone away. And then I'm just going to use a black brush to take away that smoothness. Whoa, not there. Let me apply a mask and then use a black brush to take away the smoothness that was added to the eyelashes and the eyebrows, because I want those to stay clear and not smooth. Everything else I'm pretty happy with being smooth. So you can see there's still some imperfections here. So I will then go over with my clone brush anything that I want to minimize. And I'll also use my spot healing brush tool to just get rid of flakiness. Sometimes there's gunk in the eyes, and I might need to come back in with my clone brush for that. You can always zoom in a little bit more and take out anything that pops up. This image is quite zoomed in right now. It's unlikely that the family will zoom in or crop in this much to print it, though it's possible. So I don't always zoom in this much to fix it. Okay, so that's taken away a lot of the imperfections. And then I said I was going to clean up this one little spot. Just got too pink. And then we're going to fix the color. So she's got really pink cheeks, but she does have some gray areas here. I've been using these Greater Than Gatsby actions for about a month or two, and they're really easy to use. So I'm going to use this one up here that says Go Away Gray to use it on the grayer spots of her skin, so you can see that kind of warms up those areas. If you don't have that, an easy way to do it is to put on a paintbrush but change it to color, and then choose a color that you want to match and paint over that way. So that's easy as well, as long as you have a matching color that you want. The problem with this brush, though, is that it creates a completely uniform color without variations, so that does end up starting to look fake. If you do it that way, which I like about the Greater Than Gatsby, is that it kind of follows the flow of color, so that when you're painting on the action, it's not creating one uniform color to create a whole bunch of this very same color, every single pixel being the same color. There is going to be natural variations in color throughout the skin. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I've been talking a lot. I'm going to go ahead and take it away from right there where I added it. Okay, and then I'm going to use this reduce red splotches. Again, you can just sample from a peachier color, or you can create a curves layer to add in a peachy color, which basically what this is doing anyway. And I'm going to take over anywhere that's too red. And then I'll show you another really quick trick. Before I move out of this image in Photoshop, I'm going to just go ahead and apply my curves adjustment because I want to brighten up her skin quite a bit and keep my shadows in there as well. So a little before and after, I went a little overboard, so I'm just going to take it down. Nice thing about a layer mask. Okay, so I'm going to save this image, and then I'm going to take you into Lightroom, and I'll show you how you can adjust color in there as well, and that's sometimes, I feel like, a lot faster to do it in Lightroom, so you can also do it there. So I'm just doing a healing brush, and it's taking its time. I'm going to minimize or click on effect, double click on effect, takes everything back to 0. And then I'm going to choose kind of a peachy color here. And then I'm going to paint over whatever I feel like looks too gray and needs to be peachier looking. And then this also uses the background colors, so it doesn't create a completely uniform peach. It's working with what's underlying underneath of it. Oops, I moved my pin so it moved the colors. So once that's done, the nice thing about this is that I can come in and then be like, whoa, that was way too much peach, and take it down a little. I don't need that much pink in there, so I'm actually going to pull in a little green. And I think I'm going to go back and add a little bit. Okay, so, and then one last thing I'm going to just do to this image is add in a final preset, which doesn't overwrite my healing brush. My healing brush is still there, and I'm going to make sure that my yellows are not green. So I'm going to just pull my greens in here. Pull my magenta into my yellows so that it doesn't create a green image. So that's basically it. Add a little more texture in by adding some shadows back in and some blacks. So this is where I started with the image. It's getting there, people. Just hang on. Oh, so slow. Okay, so that's where I started, and that's where I ended up. I hope that helps, Annalise. Have a great day, and good luck. Bye.